Okay, so the session will be recorded, and we'll start from, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, just like a brief introduction to the academy. Then we'll go to the speaking course and the brief introduction about myself. So as I told you, Ieltta is the International English Language Teacher Training Academy. Okay. Now we have a location in 6th of October City in Al-Hosari Square. These are the courses that we are going to offer: English language courses, conversation courses, IELTS prep, business English, ESP, meaning that business English is one kind of like ESP, English for specific purposes, teacher training courses for teachers like the TKT, TEFL, and TESOL. Ieltta started first. It was an idea in my mind, and I started the company by registering it in Britain first on 24th of January 2020. That was the first stage. As for me, for those who don't know me, my name is Mr. EmadElhakeem. I am an EFL instructor, teacher trainer, CELTA tutor in training, and founder at Ieltta. And this is my picture with the famous ELT figure, Scott Thornberry. This is like a short bio about me. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me questions and open to questions, whether you can use your microphone or you can write in the chat box. I'm not going to make this too long, just 2 minutes. As a company, we have a vision and mission. So we hope to be a leading training provider in the global market of teacher training and language learning, linking teaching to learning following international standards. One of the missions that we are trying to achieve is to prepare teachers with state-of-the-art training to suit their needs in a competitive global work market, and helping teachers to develop their level of proficiency to suit their tasks as EFL ACL instructors. One of the things that help you, if you have any teachers here, to have some sort of competition in the global job market is to get like 7 or 7.5 in the IELTS test. I recommend that you choose the academic module as a teacher. As a second stage of the company, we franchised with Westminster College London, UK. So now we can provide their courses. This is our license from WCL, which is Westminster College London, UK. We provide TEFL of QAL and TESOL courses. The TEFL level 5 is compared to the CELTA, and is the same of QAL regulated level 5, and it's less expensive than the CELTA. And these are some of the courses that WCL or Westminster College London offers, and we can offer here in Egypt also. Now in Egypt, in our center, we have English language courses, general English, using the mobile learning. By the way, the mobile learning is something that we are going to use here in this session. We also launched the IELTS exam preparation course, a paid course, and also today we started our free speaking course. In the future, inshallah, we're going to launch an online center for language learning, inshallah. Just in case, if you want to contact us, we have the Facebook page, a LinkedIn account, and also we have a LinkedIn page. Our current email is ielta.academy@gmail.com. And that's it. Now, let's get started with the IELTS speaking test. I want you just to choose the chat in the chat box. Write all that you know about the IELTS speaking test. Anything that comes to your mind about the IELTS speaking test. What is the test about? How long is it?
The test is 3 parts, yeah?
Yeah.
Part 1, part 2, part 3, yeah? Yes.
Which topics do you expect to find in the IELTS test, speaking test?
I think part 1, information about the person. Yeah.
Yes, part 1 is like.
And part 1, yeah, is a short answer for part 1.
Yeah, it's like an interview. It's like a personal interview.
Yeah, like interview, yeah.
Yeah. What about part 2?
Part 2, certain topics, yeah. Certain topics, yeah. You have to respond to the answer, and the answer, yes, with long answer, yeah.
Yeah, long term. So you have to speak from 1 to 2 minutes. Great.
Yeah.
And what about part 3?
I think part 3 about an event in your life. You will talk about an event, yeah.
Is it related in some way to part 2? Yes or no?
I don't know for part 2.
Okay. Thank you, Ayman, for your answers. Okay, so we will start from scratch, as you say. We start from 0 about the speaking test. Okay, let me just share my screen again.
Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Excuse me. Can you give us a hint about the IELTS test in general?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Hello.
Okay. So, as your colleague suggested, she wants to know the IELTS about the IELTS test in general. Okay. There are two types of the IELTS: the general module and the academic module. Okay, they are the same, but they are only different in one thing. The listening exam is the same. The speaking is also the same. Yeah. So listening and speaking are the same in the 2 modules.
Yeah.
Regarding the reading, it's different a little bit. So in the academic IELTS reading test, you have like the type of text is different. So you have 3 passages taken from, for example, let's say scientific magazines or journals, something that is academic. But in the genre, does anybody know the word genre?
Actually, no.
Okay, the word genre is a French word, but it's used in English. It means the type of texts. The type of text, any type of text. For example, if you are using a magazine, this is a type of text. If you are having a letter, this is a type of text. If you, for example, listening to a song, a certain song, to Kulthum, this is a genre in music. But if you listen for Hamubika, this is another genre, okay? So genre means, yeah, genre is another type. So the difference between the reading and the IELTS general test is that the genre is different. So the genre in reading for the general IELTS test is like you have, for example, an advertisement. You know the advertisement?
Okay.
Yes. ممكن نوع النص يختلف. في الجنرال بيكون عندك حوالي 4 باسجز، منهم بس باسج الاخيره اللي هي بتكون طويله شويه. وعباوت جنرال توبكس ممكن يكون في نص مثلا عباره عن اعلان، ادفرتايزمنت، نوتس، تايم تيبل، حاجه زي كده، وعليه اسئله فقط. فطبعا ده بيخلي السكور في الجنرال مختلف شويه في الريدنج عن السكور في الاكاديميك. ليه؟ صعوبه التكست في الاكاديميك اعلى شويه. فبالتالي انا ممكن مثلا لو انا هجيب 7 في الاكاديميك ممكن تكون حوالي 33 درجه، لكن في الجنرال 33 من 40. لكن في الاكاديميك في الجنرال ممكن تكون 35 36 لانه اسهل شويه، فهم موازنينها يعني. فما تفتكرش انك لو اخترت الجنرال عشان هو اسهل في الريدنج شويه انك انت لا، ما هو مصعبها عليك في السكور شويه. فدي بتوازي دي. بس انا لما اجي اختار ايلتس، when you choose an IELTS test you have to يعني consult the authority or the organization you are applying for. يعني هاخد يا ترى اختار الجنرال ولا الاكاديميك. ممكن في جهات يعني بتقبل الاثنين. if they accept both then you can go to the general if you feel that you are not going to work well in the academic. نيجي للاختلاف الثاني، الرايتنج في الجنرال تاسك 1 مختلفه عن الرايتنج في الاكاديميك. بس هما الاختلافين دول في الرايتنج. تاسك 1 هي المختلفه، تاسك 2 ذا سيم، اتس لايك ان essay. والريدنج نوع التكست هو المختلف اللي هو بنقول عليه الجنرا بتاع التكست.
Okay, thanks a lot. Right.
Thank you. So it's a skill, a four skill test or 4 skill based test. listening، وطبعا حاليا ظهرت النسخه الكمبيوتر منه. listening 40 questions وعليهم 40 درجه، 40 marks، 40 questions. اوكي، وبرضه بتتوزن بالباندز بتاعته 40 questions. الريدنج وطبعا السبيكينج سيم يعني نفس the same like the speaking طبعا 3 parts as we said the same like general. الريدنج برضه بيكون حوالي 40 سؤال او 39 سؤال، 40 سؤال 40 سؤال. في الاكاديميك 3 passages taken from academic general. في الجنرال ممكن 4 passages بس ما فيش غير باسج واحد تكون طويله شويه، الباقي بيكون يعني اعلانات، مش عارف جدول، حاجات زي كده. يعني نوع التكست هو المختلف بس برضه من 40، بس الباند سكور بيختلف في تحديد. الرايتنج تاسك 1 in جنرال ايلتس جي اي بتكون letter عباره عن خطاب. الرايتنج تاسك 2 رايتنج تاسك 1 in the academic بتكون عباره عن مثلا جراف، باي تشارت، برضه اكاديميه، كله اكاديمي. الاكاديميك از فوكسد اون يعني الناس اللي بتدرس، ممكن تيتشر يطلب منهم اكاديميك، ممكن الناس اللي هي بتقدم في جامعات ماستر او كده رايت بيطلب منهم. بس لازم يو هاف تو تشيك وذ ذا امبلوير. الاميجريشن الناس اللي بتهاجر بتطلب الجنرال سواء رايحه كندا او بريطانيا. وطبعا حاليا في الكمبيوتر بيست ايلتس ظهرت نسخه للكمبيوتر، وكان في حاجه اسمها ايلتس انديكيتور لما كان ايام اللوك داون كان ممكن تعمله من البيت. ما اعرفش اذا كانت لسه شغاله ولا لسه لغايه دلوقتي، بس خلاص دلوقتي في كمبيوتر بيست. الكمبيوتر بيست يستحسن تكون انت كويس في الكيبورد قبل ما تختار الكمبيوتر بيست. بالنسبه لوقت التايم بتاع الاختبار listening 30 minutes وقت الاختبار، و10 دقائق and 10 minutes for writing your answer in the paper in the bubble sheet and writing your answer. ده listening. reading 1 hour او 60 minutes بس ما فيش وقت تقدر تنقل فيه، لازم تحل على طول. speaking from 11 to 14 minutes face to face interview. عكس التويفل بتكون على الكمبيوتر، والابتس برضو على الكمبيوتر فيس تو فيس. الرايتنج 1 hour، والريكومندد تايم فور تاسك 1 بتكون 150 كلمه 150 words. المفروض تخلصها الوقت الصح بتاعها 20 minutes، ودي عليها تلت الدرجه في الرايتنج. تاسك 2 سواء في الجنرال اكاديميك بتكون اساي مينيمم 250 كلمه words 250 words and you should spend about 40 minutes ده التايم الريكومندد تايم، ودي بتوازي تلتين الدرجه في الرايتنج. في جميع الاحوال كل الدرجات بتكون من 40 وبتتقسم على باند من from 0 to 9 بتتوزن، يعني في درجه خام اللي هي بيسموها رو، ودرجه موزونه اللي هي الباند سكور. Okay. Any questions regarding this? Hello? You can type in the chat box.
No, we're following you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. So let's get started with our first session. Okay. بس before I start طبعا انا النسخه دي ما حدثتهاش من الزوم، فانا عامل ميتنج تاني هبعت لكم اللينك بتاعه قبل ما تخلص دي، يعني هو جاهز اساسا. والكوبي ذا انفيتيشن، يعني لو فرضنا الميتنج بعد 45 دقيقه او 40 دقيقه we are ready. We'll send it in the WhatsApp على طول. Okay. Here is the link احتياطي. Just in case this finished, I will until I renew my subscription. Let's get started with the first session. Okay, so the focus today is on the speaking test. At a glance, the IELTS test lasts from 11 to 40 minutes. And as we said before, that the test consists of 3 parts. Okay. You can't use a dictionary during the test. Both the IELTS general or academic speaking test are the same, and it is marked in the same way. Okay. What will you have to talk about in the speaking test? Have a look at these subjects. Which of these subjects do you think the examiner will ask you about? Write in the chat box. Now, in a speaking test, which of these subjects do you expect the examiner to ask you to talk about?
I think all.
Mm-hmm.
All, yeah, and distributed on all parts.
I think the examiner will not ask us about how to solve a mathematical problem, I think.
Mm-hmm. Will he ask you about this?
Of course, I think no.
Yeah, he's not going to ask you about this.
And also, I guess for the last, for the news of last week, I guess he may not ask us about this, but about experiences you have, people you know.
Yeah,
I guess this is more common.
Yeah, he is not going to ask you about mathematics at all. Okay. Maybe he ask you about people you know. Will he ask you about what was in the news last week?
No.
No, it's not expected. Will he ask you about your experience?
I think no as well. No, neither.
He can ask you about your experience and the study. This is something personal, so it could be. Will he ask about what would you make your city a better place? Expected?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Like the IELTS, the speaking test is marked according to bands from 0 to 9. So 0 means that either you didn't attend the test or you didn't speak at all. You just heard the questions and you didn't answer. It is expected that a native speaker will get a band from 8.5 or 9 in a speaking test. So what is your band? Which band are you willing to have in the speaking test? Or you hope to get?
I hope to have 7.
7? Okay.
I hope to have 7.5.
But do you know the criteria for achieving 7, for example?
You will let us know, inshallah.
I think
Yes.
fluency, no mistakes in grammar, yeah.
I
Confident,
think,
confident,
I-
yeah.
And for me, I think like advanced vocabulary, like advanced structure when it comes to grammar.
I will, of course, let you know that during the session or in the coming sessions. But yeah, expected that you speak fluently and accurately. Expected that your grammar, but minor mistakes are allowed, but minor, very minor mistakes. But also achieving the task in some ways. That when I ask you a certain question, for example, in part 2, you should achieve the task. You should cover all the tasks, for example. We will see also the criteria for marking here in this in the coming slide. This is a question, and I want you, for example, to think about it. If you had to measure how well someone spoke your language, what would you listen for? What would you listen for? Yani, for example, you sometimes you find foreigners who speak Arabic. When do you feel that this speaker is a good speaker, for example, of Arabic? When he says
pronunciation.
Pronunciation is a feature. Yeah. Good, great. Yeah. What else?
The accent for English.
The accent for English.
Accent. Yeah.
لا accent. انا انت تتخيل ان هو انت بتسمع حد يتكلم عربي. يعني مثلا لو انت في السعوديه في سعودي ارابيا مثلا ممكن تلاقي بعض الناس اللي هم Indians and Bangladeshi they will say صديق انا ما في معلومه انت في نفر يجي مره ما في كلام. This is Arabic, but is it clear?
Nope.
No.
Is there any grammar in it?
No grammar.
No grammar.
Yeah.
Okay. Will the accent be very important for you, or you want to understand the message?
Understand the message.
Yeah, communication. Okay. Will pronunciation affect the message or not?
Yes, sure.
Yes, yeah. So these are the things that you should look when you assess or measure the ability of someone who speaks your language, or when you are speaking English and someone wants to measure your level in speaking test. So we will look at pronunciation, lexical resource اللي هو الvocab. Lexical means vocabulary. Grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range, not just one kind of sentences, but a variety of sentences. And we have fluency and coherence. What does it mean, coherence? Fluency, we know that speak blah, 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 and without any stop, speak naturally.
Coherence, yeah.
Coherently.
تماسك.
Yeah. And how to, yes, think about it, and we'll answer it later. How to achieve this kind of coherence when you speak. Right? So these are the 4 things that let's say when we speak, we should look at. And when you prepare for the speaking test, you must, you know,
Hello, Mr. Ahmed.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that. So what is the first word? Can you pronounce it?
Photograph.
Yeah.
Photograph.
Photograph.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the second word?
Measurement.
Measurement. J. What is the third word?
Breakthrough.
Breakthrough. Not breakthrough. Can you read this question or phrase?
What's your favorite film?
Okay, be careful with it. What's your favorite film? So you have to, like, you show the intonation clearly. Next one.
I've had a delicious breakfast.
Yeah, have a delicious breakfast. I have. Remember to use a contracted form. I have had a delicious breakfast. I have a delicious breakfast. Okay. Lexical resource, meaning vocabulary. This is the second feature in, so we have pronunciation, then lexical resource, which means vocabulary. In order to get a high score in the speaking, you need a large vocabulary. Okay, match these words with their synonym. You can say a car, but also you can say,
I think
Automobile.
Vehicle or vehicle.
yes, but there is no, hot.
Boiling.
Yeah, yes. This is how vocabulary is expanded. It doesn't mean, by the way, synonyms doesn't mean that they are equal 100%, but they are in the same category. They are similar in certain feature of meaning. Fast or fast, in British.
Speedy.
Speedy.
Rapid.
But there is no rapid here. But rapid is okay.
Fast, yeah. Rapid, yeah. Also, yeah.
Okay. Value as a verb.
Appreciate.
Helpful.
Beneficial.
Okay. So this is how we should look at vocabulary, and the part of the vocabulary are there in every part of the text, not only in the speaking. Okay, and the word synonym or synonyms is there in the listening and in the reading and in the writing. يعني المترادفات دي، انت مثلا في السؤال في الليسننج ممكن تلاقي الكلمه مكتوبه فوق مثلا hot، وفي السؤال مكتوبه boiling تحت. اوكي، فانت ما تتوقعش ان نفس اللي مكتوب فوق هتلاقيه تحت. في ال speaking you don't need to repeat the word hot all the time in your sentences. So one time you say hot, and the second time you can say boiling or other alternatives to the word. Don't use just one word repeatedly, because it will show that your lexical resources limited and will of course. طبعا الايلتس طبعا زي ما انت شفت او السبيكنج بيتقاس على 4 حاجات: البرونانسيشن، وبرضه البرونانسيشن ليه باندز يعني من 0 ل 9. طب والفوكابلري نفس الشيء من 0 ل 9. طيب والجرامر والاكيورسي من 0 ل 9. اوكي. والفلوينسي والكوهيرنس من 0 ل 9. اللي بيحصل انك انت لو جبت مثلا في الجرامر 9 وفي الفوكاب 7 وبعدين جبت في البرونانسيشن 6 وبعدين جبت في الباقي مش عارف 5، بيتاخد المتوسط بتاعهم. يعني ممكن انت تبقى كويس في الفوكابلري بس مش كويس في الجرامر. اوكي. نفس الكلام احنا بنقول مثلا لما بنيجي نعمل لشخص مثلا اختبار ولا كده، يقول لك انا كويس، انا في ليفل 15. طيب ماشي. دلوقتي حتى انا لما بقيسك في البليسمنت تيست، ساعات البليسمنت تيست بيبقى قاصر على الجرامر، انا بس عايز اخد فكره عن المستوى فقط. بس انت ممكن تبقى كويس في الليسننج ومش كويس في الريدنج، وممكن تبقى كويس في الريدنج ومش كويس في السبيكنج. اوكي. الايلتس برضو الباند سكور الاخير ده اللي هو الاوفر اول، هو متوسط اللي انت عملته في الفور سكيلز. ممكن تكون انت في الليسننج جايب 9، في السبيكنج جايب 6، والسته دي برضو متاخده على المتوسط بتاع الاربعه اللي جوه السبيكنج. يعني لاحظ ان كله متداخل في بعضيه. يعني الليسننج هو الليسننج، بس خلي بالك ان الاسئله برضو اللي محطوطه في الليسننج بتقيس سكيلز معينه. يعني الليسننج لو فككته هتلاقيه بيقيس حاجات ثانيه انت ما تعرفهاش جوه، في اسرار جوه ثانيه. والريدنج نفس الشيء. والرايتنج شبه السبيكنج في حاجه ان هو بيقيس 4 برضو حاجات: تاسك اتشيفمنت، برضو الجرامر والفوكابلري والكوهيرنس والكوهيجن والكلام ده. اوكي. Next, you are going to be careful about your grammatical range and accuracy, right? For a high band in IELTS, you need to be able to, for simple and complex sentences correctly, يعني لازم يبقى فيه تنوع في الجمل. You need to use to form, simple and complex sentences correctly. Look at these sentences. I give you 1 minute. Try to figure out the mistakes in these sentences.
Answer one by one, Mr. Ahmed, or
okay, no problem. Let's have number 1.
The summer of yes, 2012 has been.
I think was.
Yeah. Do you agree with what? Do you remember? Are we in 20?
Yeah, because he mentioned a specific.
Is it related?
Time.
Specific time.
Yeah, time is finished. No relation to the present time. By the way, المضارع التام، المضارع التام يعتبر ماضي على فكرة. هو اسمه مضارع تام. Be careful يا شباب. يعني اسماء الازمنه في الانجليزي خادعه جدا. يعني لما اقول present continuous، اوكي، ممكن استخدمه الفيوتشر. I'm going to Mecca tomorrow for example. This is الفورم present continuous. لا be careful. الفورم ساعات بيكون مختلف عن المينينج. اوكي. طيب number 2.
Wants to go to.
Is going to the beach next
wants
weekend?
to go to. Wants to go to.
Can we say for? Can we say for?
No.
Wants for no.
So what is the mistake here? What type of mistake?
The preposition.
Yeah,
wants
exactly.
to go
excellent.
to.
Exactly. Excellent. Yeah. And during I was in Turkey, I enjoy going to the market.
I enjoyed, and I think.
So say tense, and during. Can you say
when?
during?
And during while. I think while.
When?
Yeah.
When or why?
When?
Maybe.
Or when?
While is recommended.
Or while, yeah.
Okay.
While I was in Turkey, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So using these are actually will be counting mistakes in the speaking or writing. Okay, so if you speak a sentence like this while you are in a test, it's okay if you are not in a test, as long as I can understand you. But if you are in a test, it's totally different. Okay. The history was my favorite subject in school.
I think know that history.
Yeah, history, and it will be capital letter if you are writing, but in speaking you don't need to show that it's capital letter or not. بس انا في السبيكينج لازم اخلي بالي ان دي فول ستوب، فلازم التون بتاعي يهدى. History was my favorite school, my subject in school.
Fall in intonation.
Yeah, I called up the man. Which?
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Relationship.
Or that, but who is more recommended.
So as you can see, that grammar and accuracy means that you use a range of sentences that is not only simple sentences. You can form simple, compound, and complex sentences.
Right. What is the difference between compound and complex?
Okay.
Is there any difference?
Of course.
Yeah. What is it?
Simple sentence means that the sentence has only a verb and subject. For example, I go to school every day. One subject, one verb.
All right.
I go to school every day. Let's see. That if you say I go to school and I meet my friends, now it is a compound sentence. So you use a coordinator, or what we call fanboys.
Yeah.
Fanboys means that you can use for, and, be, but. Yeah. Or yet. These actually make a sentence from simple to compound. So fanboys.
Okay.
I went to school for I want. Because I want. Type. Another thing is that when you want to make a sentence into complex sentence, you have to use like conjunctions like when or if.
Because of, yeah.
Because of, and so on. After.
Yeah, which.
Complex means that the two sentences,
connected,
one of them is independent and the other is not independent. Right?
يعني هي بتختلف في الادوات الربط اللي انا بستخدمها. This is the difference.
يعني لا، عندي two simple sentences. ادوات الربط مهمه جدا في الموضوع. I went to school and I met my friend. This is a compound sentence. لان لو شلت and هيفضل عندي جملتين وتبقى جملتين بساط simple sentences والاجابه صح. يعني خلاص بقوا مستقلين. لكن when مثلا لو قلت I went to school، لو وقفت كده do you need something to complete the meaning or not?
I guess not. No.
When I went to school. When I went.
No. I have to complete the sentence.
If you go to school, do you watch for something or not?
Yeah, it lacks something.
So this is a complex sentence because of the kind of conjunction will define if it is a complex or not complex. Okay. Remember, fanboys and other conjunctions are for complex sentences. Fluency and coherence. Okay, I will send it the link to the second meeting, and we will have like 5 minutes rest or 10 minutes. Okay, where is just in case this meeting is not working. So here, if this meeting stopped, you can just use the second link. Okay. Continue.
Mr. Ahmed, can I ask you for something? It's out of our something like advice. What do you think? Yeah, how I would start studying ELTS? Do you prefer to start by books and collect more vocab and revise my grammar before I start with an instructor, or you prefer to be in group with an instructor? Because I've tried before to be with a group, but I have a big problem that they asked me, or they always ask for write something, do something, but I haven't information, and I also haven't time, because it's most of time it's something like it will be about 1 month, 2 months, as for 2 months, it wasn't be like more than 2 months. So I haven't time to study, to have all of these topics. And I'm a mother, have kids, have work. So what do you think? How we can do that in a right way? Study before we go to the course, or be with a group and study? I'm sorry to be
no. هو اي واحد عايز يتعلم، يعني I will say this in Arabic if you don't mind. انا دلوقتي عايز ادخل ايلتس، لازم اول حاجه اكون محدد انا عايز اي سكور بالظبط، ولازم اعرف انا فين. وعشان اكون مستعد للايلتس لازم يكون عندي enough vocabulary وجرامر. تمام؟ فانا مثلا افرض ان انا السكور انا عايز 7 اوفر اول، باند 7 مثلا. فالاول لازم اتاكد ان I am B2 الليفل بتاعي. طبعا احنا عارفين مستويات اللغه، سيبكم من المستويات اللي بتسمعوها في الاكاديميات يقول لك انا عندي 36 مستوى. ده تقسيم داخلي. هو بيعمل ايه؟ بيجيب كتاب مثلا ويقسمه كل وحدتين يعملهم ليفل. ده تقسيم داخلي. لكن الكتاب كله على بعضيه ال 10 مستويات هتلاقيه A1 مثلا. فانا عندي 6 مستويات، وحتى 6 مستويات دول اللي انا بقيس عليهم الباند بتاعت الايلتس. يعني الايلتس لو انا جبت فيه 7 يبقى يساوي ايه عندي في المستويات بتاعت اللغه، يعني المعايير الاوروبيه بيساوي C1. هم المستويات A1 A2 B1 B2 C1 C2. طيب A1 يعني انا في الاليمنتري او في البيجنر، سوري البيجنر ليفل. هل ينفع انا في البيجنر ليفل اقدر ادخل الايلتس؟
لا،
لانك لو دخلت مش هتجيب غير 2 أو 3 بالكثير يعني، وممكن ما تعرفش تحل. يبقى انا محتاج الاول ارفع مستوى الفوكاب ومستوى الجرامر كويس، واشتغل بقى على السكيلز الثانيه. طيب يعني هو بيقول لك مينيمم انك تكون في B1 او B2 عشان تقدر تبدا. فلازم اول حاجه اعرف انا فين وهروح فين عشان اعمل خطه. كل واحد ممكن تكون الخطه بتاعته مختلفه عن الثاني. رايت؟ فانا لو مش كويس في الجرامر يبقى انا هشوف ايه اللي في الجرامر، يبقى عايز اختبار يقيس الجرامر بتاعي، وبالتالي تطلع لي كميه دروس. ابقى مركز على اللي انا مش عارفه، ومش هقعد اذاكر كل مره اذاكر من الاول. دي نقطه. النقطه الثانيه محتاج اوسع الفوكاب. المشكله في الفوكابلري في حاجات انت في اسرار عن الفوكابلري الناس ما تعرفهاش. يعني انا ممكن استخدم كلمه غلط بغير ما اقصد، والاكزامينر يروح منزل الباند بتاعتي، لان في حاجه في الفوكابلري انت كل اللي حافظه على الفوكابلري فلان دي معناها ايه بالعربي، بس في حاجه في اسرار في الفوكابلري زي مثلا الكونيتيشن بتاع الفوكابلري، هل بوزيتيف ولا نيجاتيف. يعني ممكن اقول كلمه غلط ان انا استخدمها، اوكي، او ليها نيجاتيف امباكت اون ذا listener او اون ذا ريدر. في كمان الكونيتيشن اللي هو الكولوكيشن، يعني words that go together. يعني انا ما اقدرش اقول مثلا يعني ما اقولش مثلا اقول ايه مثلا
very good مثلا.
very good it's okay. لو قلت مثلا clever vocabulary، يعني what do you mean؟ لازم اشيك على الكلمه، هل ينفع الكلمتين دول يجوا مع بعض؟ ده اسمه collocations words that go together. لما قلت انا want for ما تنفعش. ليه؟ لان ما بيجوش مع بعض. هم النيتيف سبيكرز ما بيستخدموش فور. ممكن وانت بتترجم في دماغك من لغتك الام ينفع انك تستخدمهم مع بعض. لو ترجمت على طول هتكتب خطا زي كده بيكشف حاجه معينه عنك. اوكي؟ فدي كده. نيجي بعد كده انا محتاج اعرف المعلومه عشان اعدل الاختبار. محتاج التوازن بين حاجتين، الاكزام تكنيكس بنسبه 30%، واللانجوج اشتغل على اللانجوج عشان ارفع المستوى شويه بنسبه 70%. Is it clear now؟
تمام.
Yes.
بس محتاج ان انا اعرف النولج بتاعت التيست. هعرف التيست كمان بيتقيم ازاي، عشان انا وانا بذاكر بحضر نفسي للخطه دي، وابقى عامل خطه. عارف انا عايز اجيب 7، في خطه لل7. بخطه في ال7 لايه؟ للليسننج لازم انا اجيب مثلا فور اكزامبل حاجه و30 من 40. في الريدنج نفس الشيء، بس حسب انت جنرال ولا اكاديميك بتختلف. الليسننج هو بعدين تيجي في اسمه ايه، في السبيكينج الباند 7 ليه خطه معينه. في السبيكينج في الجرامر لازم اكون كذا، في الفلوينسي لازم اكون كذا، فكده. 6 ليه مختلف، يعني مثلا في 7 لازم استخدم ايديومز وانا بتكلم بس تكون ناتشرالي. يعني زي مثلا اقول ايه grammar is not my cup of tea. لو هي انت بتقولها ناتشرالي اتس اوكي. cup of tea مش معناها كوبايه الشاي بتاعتي، معناها ان انا ما بحب، يعني بحبها او ما بحبهاش. لو قلت it's my cup of tea this is an idiom. Using idioms is important in the speaking test. يعني ممكن تجيبك لليفل 7 او باند 7 for example. What else? Knowing the knowledge about the test. يبقى لازم احقق البالانس اللي هو التوازن. اللي بيحصل ان في بعض الناس فاكره ان الاعداد الاختبار يعني بعض الممارسات الخطا، اللي مثلا ان انا اعرف التيبس وخلاص. لازم برضه يكون في ممارسه براكتس للاختبار نفسه، وبراكتس لكل انواع التاسكس اللي موجوده والمتوقعه. ولازم تكون familiar with the format. You should be familiar with the format of the test. يعني ما اخشش كده لان انا عشان ما اقضيش وقت ان انا اقرا الانستراكشن بتاعت التكست كمان. لا انا بعرف الانستراكشنز، انا familiar، ما تاخدش وقت طويل معايا. اوكي. Let's continue. So we have fluency and coherence. Fluent means that you can speak naturally on a wide range of subjects, not just in one subject. How can you tell that someone speaks your language fluently? لو في العربي كده لما اقول شخص fluent عربي بيتكلم ازاي؟ لبلب. He can, for example, speak without
pauses مثلا.
pauses. لكن ممكن البوزس الطبيعيه، يعني لو بوز ما انا باخدها عشان اطلع الافكار بتاعتي الطبيعيه اللي هي ما تعمليش انا مشكله وانا بسمع، اتس اوكي. لكن في بوزس اللي هي انا ما عنديش كلمات وبدور، ما عنديش افكار وبدور، دي بتضايق. تلاقي اعمل كده. لكن if I say مثلا I went to Alexandria yesterday، انا وقفت وقفه بسيطه يعني and I met my friends there. Actually ممكن بعد actually هنا actually it was like كلمه like هنا it was like. الكلمات الطبيعيه دي حلوه جدا في السبيكنج زي البهارات كده، دي اللي بتدي الكوهيرنس على فكره. Okay. Here are some topics which you might be covered. How هنا an examiner will ask you to identify yourself and then ask you questions about your own life. For example, your house or apartment, your job or studies, your favorite sports or hobbies, what you like to eat, films, music or books you enjoy, your family. It's in part 2 of the IELTS test. You will be given like a piece of paper, like this, for example, a piece of paper, and it is called a cue card, which looks like this. Describe an interesting website you have visited. هنا لازم اخلي بالي من نقاط مهمه جدا. خلاص دي كده التوبيك بتاعت الكويستشن، بس في نقطه، النقاط كل نقطه من دول each point here you must cover these points, but you must speak for 2 minutes and you shouldn't stop talking until the examiner tells you to do so. So what happens during part 2 of the IELTS speaking test? First of all, the examiner will give you like 60 seconds, 1 minute, to look into to study the cue card and to make notes on a piece of paper. So you're giving a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and like a pen, and you should take notes. Notes about what? First of all, you should think about each one. When you visit, when. What is the key word here?
When.
When. So when you have this piece of paper, blank piece of paper, you should, for example, have the pen and write point quickly. Point 1, مثلا visited last month. Okay, and you should have another point to extend this point. How you first learn about the website. Point 2, how first learned? Oh, okay, from Google search. Yani, quickly, what the website is about. For example, about fashion. For example, why you think it is interesting? Many it's مثلا discounts, offers and so on. بحضر افكار بتاعتي بس لو انا قلت الاجابات دي بس مش هتاخد درجه. لازم you have to extend. هتاخد بس التاسك اتشيفمنت، لكن انا عندي انا بقيس 4 حاجات: تاسك اتشيفمنت، فلوينسي، والكوهيرنس، وبقيس الجرامر ليكسيكال اللي هي الليكسيكال ريسورس، وبقيس الجرامر. Okay, so you have to think about a way or strategy to make your talk or your turn extend for 2 minutes at least without stop. So the examiner will give you like this cue card and ask you to make notes. Then you will need to speak without interruption for 1 to 2 minutes. يعني ممكن 1 بس the examiner exactly actually you have to be prepared for 2 minutes. And don't stop talking until the examiner talks you to do so. And then the examiner will ask you 2 or 3 questions about what you have said. Part 3 of the IELTS speaking test lasts for around from 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner will ask you questions related. مش هيسألك سؤال وخلاص. في حاجة مهمة إن أنا عندي الاختبار بيبقى فيه coherence نفسه. يعني هتلاقي فوق بارت 1 مثلا هتلاقي فيه برضه بيؤدي للبارت 2 شوية يعني بس مش للدرجة. بارت 2 وبارت 3 مرتبطين ببعض. يعني الفولو اب كويستشنز اللي في بارت 3 والمفروض تجاوب عليها اطول شويه من بارت 1. اوكي؟ related to the topic. يعني لو سالتك عن ويب سايت يبقى اكيد هتكلم عن الانترنت والويب سايت وريليتد تو something related to it عشان يبقى في كوهيرنس. انا ما اجيبش اختبار بتكلم عن الويب سايت او بتكلم كده واجي في الفولو اب كويستشن اسالك مثلا عن الملوخيه ولا عشان ما لهاش علاقه. irrelevant. ده عشان خاطر انت برضه you keep focused. Okay, we'll ask you about websites, so the examiner might ask you whether you think young children should be allowed to access the internet or not, or whether the government should make sure that everyone has access to high-speed internet. So it will be related to that. It should be relevant to the part 2. No one can fail the IELTS speaking tests. But when you target 7 and get 6, it's very frustrating because you will have to pay again and book the test again. How much is it nowadays in Egypt?
اعتقد 2000 وحاجه بس مش عارف 2000 وكام.
Oh,
Last time it was 3,500 Egyptian pounds.
and
Oh my God.
it's getting higher and higher. You know, since the, من ساعة التعويض بتاع الجنيه. Oh. Yeah. And remember that when you book the test, remember to make sure that you are booking the right test لان بتحصل بلاوي. يعني في ناس بتروح تعمل خناقات ساعات في البريتش كونسل يقول لك انا ما كنتش عايز كمبيوتر، انا ما كنتش عايز، بتبقى في مشكله وبيبقى في خصم المصاريف الاداريه وشغلانه. Okay. How good does my English have to be to pass? ما فيش رسوب اصلا في البيت. بس انت في باند بتاخده. It measures your level of English. Very advanced learners will normally get 7 or 8, even if they make a few mistakes. Don't care about some mistakes. يعني ممكن برضه survive you عادي. But which kind of mistakes we'll see when we talk about the descriptors. The examiner is looking for the ability to express your own thoughts. Mistakes are only considered serious if they are very frequent, if they prevent the examiner from understanding what you are trying to say. Clear? Clear so far? How to get the best results in the speaking test? What can you see in this picture? Speaking is like an athletics or driving competition at the Olympics. Athletes need to show off all the skills they have practiced. In less than 15 minutes, you need to show how well you can speak English. And that's it. To get the best results in my exam, think about these options. Will you use different tenses correctly? Yes or no? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Read the newspaper the day before the exam. Not related to whether I read the newspaper or don't, it doesn't relate to the test. Use synonyms for word in the examiner's questions.
Yes.
Yes. Don't use the same words in the examiner's question. Speak very quickly.
Nope.
No. Speak naturally. Speak naturally. Yeah. And at a normal rate. You don't need to. That fluency doesn't mean speed, by the way. Fluency that you can speak naturally, spontaneously, without hesitation, without pauses, without looking for the right word and here and there, without making repeated answers and so on. Pronounce the words correctly.
Yes.
Yes. Use long words even if I'm not sure what they mean.
No.
No. Listen carefully to the questions.
Yep.
Yeah. Try to memorize questions and answer before the exam.
Maybe yes.
You can see some sample
as a practice or preparation.
But remember that the IELTS examiners are trained to differentiate between memorized questions and natural answers, memorized answers and unnatural answers. So it is not recommended to memorize questions. But from my experience, it is if you can read sample answers, okay. To have an idea about which answer should I use, the level of answers. Okay, the kind of vocabulary being used, how the answer is formulated. This is okay, but don't memorize. Don't, for example, use archaic or let's say cliches like there is no doubt that حاجات اللي بيحفظوها للعيال في الثانوي دي. Okay, there is no doubt that eating fast food will. You don't need to do that. What about you? Which part of the IELTS speaking test do you think will be the most difficult for you? Part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 3?
Part 3. Yeah.
Why?
It needs long terms, yeah, and more vocab.
Yeah, it's actually extended now, but it's not that difficult. If you are trained well and you have enough vocabulary and grammar, it's not that difficult. However, part 2 will need actually to have a certain strategy because you're going to speak for longer times without stop. You have to prepare well, right? And this part actually focuses on fluency more than any other part of the test. What skills do you think you need to work on hardest?
For me, I think that I need to know how to master words and vocabularies because he doesn't ask me about anything difficult or technical topics, so just simple ones. So I need to know how to just get it to my mind directly without any kind of thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Now we finished this part of the. Okay, so just you can mute. Let's go to the next. part. This session is about, the second part of the session is about fluency and coherence. And fluency and coherence is, طبعا احنا قلنا في there are four features which are يعني we look at when we measure speaking in the IELTS test, which can you remind me of them? Even in the chat box. Any ideas? Can you? We said that when we assess, لما نقيم السبيكينج انا ببص على ايه؟ Fluency and coherence. ما هو البرونسيشن والبرونسيشن
grammar fluency and
grammar range, grammatical range. What else? And accuracy اللي هو GRA. What else? Lexical resource. يعني الثروه اللغويه اللي بيقول لك الفوكابلري. طيب دول اربعه.
Last one fluent and coherence.
fluent and coherence. So we'll start with fluency and coherence. كل واحده من دول عليها 25% من الدرجه بتاعت الاختبار. 25% of the test. Okay. Now we'll start from fluency and coherence. Fluency and coherence is like 25% of your speaking score. So you need to understand what your IELTS examiner is looking for. Fluency معناها language flows like a river. Fluency. What does that mean to you? We talked about it. No repetition, no hesitation. Using like certain features in the speech. For example, you can use fillers. Do you have an idea about fillers? Fillers. Any idea? Fillers will give you time to think. For example, if I ask you, do you live in a city or a town?
Like, well,
yeah,
yeah, or something like this. Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, I think like this. This actually will give you time to mind to think and be relaxed when you speak, and makes your speaking so natural. IELTS question, fluent speech. Describe a day when you went outside your city. Okay. Read this text aloud, then read it again and make it more fluent. And for example, I went to the sea, to the beach 2 weeks ago. My brother and I went and we wanted to go inside to go swimming. It was really hot. What do you think? This fluency?
At all.
Of course, no.
So how can you make it the same text? I can make it fluency. So we can say, I went to the sea, to the beach 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. My brother and I ممكن repetition بس. We wanted to go inside to go swimming. It was really hot. or it was really hot. You didn't say it really, really hot. Okay. So these, pauses shows that there is a problem in your speech and that fluency is not okay there. Another question. What did you do on your last birthday? Can someone read it? Can you? And I want actually all of you to take part in
Yeah.
it. I'm not going to lecture anymore.
Mm.
And not only Nihal that she should take part, all of you, please. Can anyone read it out loud?
Okay.
Okay.
My birthday was really fun this year. My father said that we would go to a restaurant for dinner. I dressed nicely and we got in the car and drove there. When we entered the restaurant, something looked different. There weren't any tables in the room. Then a band started to play some music, and all my friends, well, around 20 of my schoolmates, started to come in. My parents had organized a party for me. It was just incredible.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Is it more fluent than the previous one?
Yeah,
Are there some hesitation?
yes.
Yes, but does it actually corrupt the meaning?
No, but it depends
No.
on the intonation, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't actually. يعني طبيعي ان انا هيبقى في عندي استشفاء باخد نفسي حتى I take a breath. So if you look here, this is a level which is like having a lot of hesitation. It's not fluent, and this is another level, another band. Why do you think a speaker would, for example, stop here?
I think because she was so surprised.
Yeah, show
It was
his
an amazing.
Yeah. What else? Does it give him time to think?
Maybe.
Is it natural?
Somehow.
Yeah. Anyway, does the text have any repeated words here?
No, it is coherent somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each sentence give a complete meaning, even when it stops when you make an exclamation. Um, yeah, it is more better than the first one.
But are the pauses here natural or not natural?
This is natural.
Yeah.
Natural. Yeah.
Yes.
Natural pauses.
Yes, there is voice engineering.
So can we say that the speaker speak fluently here? على فكرة النيتيف سبيكر نفسه لازم هيعمل pauses, but natural pauses are okay. Even the native speaker. Okay?
Yeah, he's clear and his sentences are coherent. Even the poses give meaning. So it is, yeah.
Okay. How are you going to pronounce this word? Dress. Is it
Which
dressed?
word?
Is it dressed or dressed?
It's voiceless sound, so it should be ta.
Yeah.
Breast.
Breast. How are you going to pronounce this word?
Friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
By the way, pronouncing the words correctly will help you to appear more fluent, actually.
Yeah.
And will give you time to transfer from one idea to another idea and so on. It makes your speech fluent and native-like. Okay. Next. يعني مثلا لو انا عايز اشوف البرونسيشن هل هتفرق معايا لو قلت water ولا water زي ما بيقولوا؟ Does it matter؟ في البريتش في الايلتس؟
No.
No, we don't need that at all, and doesn't show anything about your level in English. You speak naturally. If you say water, British, or if you say water, or you say water, it's okay, or water, it's okay. Regarding the fluent speech, which of these are correct, or which of these are not correct? Think about it.
First one is not.
Is it? Do you
I think
agree that
it's
it
not
is?
necessary to be quick.
Yeah, speaking quickly doesn't mean you are fluent. Fluence means that your words are growing as flows as a river. Speak at a normal pace, but with few hesitations. Is it okay or not okay?
Okay.
Repeat words or phrases.
Not okay.
This actually will lower your band to band 5. Both occasionally to give emphasis to بس هتبقى band 5 في الفلوينسي والكوهيرنس. بس ممكن تبقى في الجرامر انت باند 7 عادي، بس انت خدها نزلت بالباند برضه. يعني مش معنى انا جبت فلوينسي باند 5 يبقى كله هيبقى باند 5. لو انت في الفوكابلري اوكي يبقى هتاخد الباند اللي تستحقه في الفوكاب او اللي هو الليكسس ريسورس. Both occasionally to give emphasis to what you are going to say. Occasionally.
What do you mean by this?
يعني بتقف من يعني شويه عشان تدي لنفسك emphasis to what you are going to say. يعني occasionally, not all the time, not always.
I guess it's okay. Sometimes we use filler words in order to give us time to think.
What is more? So if you use the wrong word, correct it immediately.
I guess forget about it. maybe he didn't notice it.
Yes, if you correct yourself all the time, this actually will give the examiner a certain impression about your ability in speaking. So be careful about it. Think about these questions and then answer them. Your answer should include 4 to 5 sentences. What did you do last weekend? Don't say, for example, I went to the club. In the IELTS, actually, you need to show your skills, showing your skills. No, it's a test. It's not a normal speech. So usually you think about from 4 to 5 sentences. Do you prefer reading or playing video games? You can say I prefer video games or that's it. No, you have to give reason and then depth into your answers. If you could travel anywhere in the world, which country would you like to choose? Who likes to answer the first question? Other than let's خلينا نختار طالما انتم مش عارفين. Can you for example Mina, can you hear me? Mina. Zainab.
Yes.
What did you do last weekend? Can you answer this in 4 to 5 full sentences?
I'm trying to remember والله.
بس هو ده انا في الاختبار على فكره ممكن
All right.
اكتب يعني الكذب
Okay.
حلال على فكره الكذب حلال على فكره في الحاله دي.
Yeah.
Okay. يعني بكون yeah.
Last weekend.
For example, you can start by, okay, let me remember. Last weekend, actually, I woke up late. I took my breakfast and I accompanied my friends to for example, the zoo. We had a very nice trip there, and so on. So ممكن تخترع. هي المشكلة في السبيكينج ان انا عايز بس اعمل ده بسرعة في الاختبار. ولذلك
Okay.
practice will make perfect.
Yeah. All right, let me try. All right, last weekend, it was really different weekend because actually I wake up early, which is not normal for me to do. Then I had my breakfast, and after that I had actually I did a plan for this weekend because it was really unique for me. I have a lot of activities to do. Firstly, I had to visit my grandmother because she was an old person and need someone to share her some activities or to help her in what she wanna do. So I visited her and we did it was really fun because we did a lot of activities. We made a cake and we prepared food.
Okay, but this is actually, sorry for interrupting you. I just
يعني
need
I'm trying to invent مش عارف.
Just you need from 4 to 5 sentences. That's it. Do you prefer reading or playing video the same way, if you could, and so on? Speaking coherently, the second feature, يعني احنا قلنا fluency and coherence. So you should speak fluently and coherently. Two features here in one of the sections or the parts of the marking criteria of the speaking test. For example, let's say describe a book that you have really recently read. Look at this text, read it, and then read it for 1 minute. You don't need to read it aloud. What do you think about this text?
It's unlogic.
Yeah, that's it. This is what is meant by coherence. The sentences, using
Not
the
harmony.
sentences. Yeah,
No harmony.
No harmony.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. هنا هل هو في any pauses هنا? Are there any pauses here? Any pauses? No, no pauses. But look at the kind of words that he used to link the sentences. And will actually, they are in the train, must go to the park. There is a lightning. My teacher told us to read this book. الجملة دي علاقتها باللي قبلها. No relation. The people start to play. مفيش علاقة. بعدين the weather is really bad. Short sentence without any relation. I read this book last month. Not organized, not linked together, no coherent at all. How can you change it to make it logical? You can say, for example, I read a book last month.
My teacher told us to read this book and write about it.
Yeah, oh, it needs just you to organize the ideas and use them
to rearrange it again.
Yeah, rearrange it. And here, put these sentences in the right order. You can change the sentence a little bit if you like. Which one should be first?
I read this book last week.
Number 5. Number 5.
Number 5 should be what?
1. Number 1.
5.
I think we can start with number 7.
Yeah.
So let's say this is 1. Okay.
Then number
4.
For my teacher to, yeah, it's more related. So this is number 2.
Number 1.
This book starts with people in a park.
Number 2.
Well, actually, they are on the train, but later they go to a park.
Yeah.
But they were in a train.
Yeah.
They were
Number
in a
5.
train, but later they went to a park, and there was lightning.
5.
This is 4, 5.
People started to play football.
They were started.
No, I think we can start after that. Oh, yes. No, this one.
Oh, yeah. This is يعني الهدف, the main aim of this to show you that coherence means that you should organize. Number 1, you should organize your sentences in a certain way, and it will help fluency. يعني ما تقولش sentence هنا وتجيب الثانيه في الاخر وتجيب Question: Is anyone in your family an artist or musician? The answer is يعني الانسر the candidate says yes, my mother plays the piano. Is it a wrong answer?
No, it's not.
No. But do you think it shows that you are fluent?
No.
Okay. Think about this text. Are these ideas in logical order?
Yes.
Yes. Do they look natural or sound natural? What is missing?
I guess it means the usage of
I think
transition words.
Linking words.
Yeah, exactly.
Idea.
Okay, exactly. They are ordered logically, but they lack some sort of something that will add to the fluency. That is coherence, and coherence means that my mother grew up in a very small town where ممكن أقول where there was a good piano teacher. مش لازم أقول there was. بعدين there was الليفل بتاعها منخفض جدا يعني. So you can say where you link the sentences together. There was, بدل ما تقول there was. على طول. A good piano teacher called Mr. Hecht or Hecht. My mother played in a piano competition. She was 16. She won a prize. لما نقول مثلا when she was 16, My mother played in a piano competition and won a prize. She also went to university to study the piano. في حاجة missing هنا, the piano. She was a piano teacher for, ممكن هنا أقول, then she was a piano teacher for 5 years. But when she got married, she stopped stopped teaching. However, she is a musician and she plays the piano every day. Now, look at these words. What do you think about them? Still, in fact, although, fortunately, when, nonetheless. Now the same text. Now I want to add these words in order to make it more coherent, so that when you speak, you should add these words. These are like, you know, cohesive devices. We call them cohesive devices. اللغه اللي انت بتستخدمها اي لغه في حاجه اسمها cohesive devices. عايز الزق الكلام في بعضيه بدل ما هو كل حته في واحده لواحد حته، يعني كل جمله في حته غير الثانيه. يبقى it's not about putting sentences in order, but also about linking these sentences together. So you should start with what? Here, the first one.
Although.
Yeah, although my mother grew up in a very small town. Fortunately, there was what? A good piano teacher, Mr. Hecht. She was 16.
When she was 16?
Yeah. When she was 16, she played the piano in a competition.
Eventually? I don't know.
Eventually, she won a prize. Okay. She went to university to study the piano.
5 years.
ولا eventually ولا in fact? Can you think of it? In fact, she won a prize. Okay, let me, because the text هنا it's not helping.
Yes.
Okay, now, is it clear now? So let's just give it like numbers instead. Okay. Okay. The first one is, although my mother grew up in a very small town, there was a good piano teacher called Mr. Hecht or Hecht, I don't know, this is like a German name. When she was 16, she played in a piano competition. This is number 3. This is number 2. And then, in fact, she won a prize. She went to when she went to university, 5 years, for 5 years, but
Nonetheless.
Nonetheless, well, eventually, it's eventually. أخيراً, يعني, finally, she got married and stopped teaching. Nonetheless, she's still a musician, and she plays the piano every day. That's it. What we call these words actually, and what did they add to the text? So they are cohesive devices, and the connectors, they are called connectors. So using connectors in your speech, or even in your writing, will make your speech coherent. It will add to your fluency. It will raise your score, even in writing, by the way. لأن في الwriting بيقول إيه؟ cohesive, coherence and cohesion. الاثنين مع بعض في الwriting. هنشوفهم لو انتوا بتاخدوا writing. Okay, what connectors do? الكونكتورز بيعملوا ايه بقى في الموضوع؟ الكونكتورز link your ideas together and show how they are related to each other. Sometimes they help us to give our opinion about some information. Can you identify the connectors here? Can you?
However.
So this is one word. However, I don't like really. For example, was also connecting this. يعني تدي معلومات زيادة, more information, support yourself. But I do like some classic groups like Black Sabbath, though. Okay, so connectors give, link your ideas together, show how they are related. Sometimes they help us give our opinion. I prefer. Which connectors does Arturo use to organize the ideas in his answer? Which connectors? Take 1 minute to recognize them. Which words?
First of all.
Next.
Secondly.
And.
In short.
Okay. What was the question? Do you think the government should make sure that everyone has a place to live? This is an important question at the moment. First of all, many people cannot afford a good home for their families. Secondly, there is a shortage of houses and apartments in our country. So, in short, I think the government should build enough apartments for everyone. Clear? So, putting your ideas in a sequence means you can use sequencing words like first, second, third. So contrasting your ideas. This is showing you how to achieve coherence in your speech. So first of all, you can put your ideas in a sequence, like when you use firstly, secondly, so, and so on. Next, you have to do something like a contrasting ideas. If there is a, a contrasting relationship, Do you think the government should make sure that everyone has a place to live? What do these words do? I know that many people are struggling with it. When you contrast your ideas, usually you start with a linker or a word that shows contrast, that what is coming is contrasted or contrasting your or what was before. On the other hand, I know that many people are struggling with this current housing crisis. On the other hand, I think that the government cannot solve all the problems of the country. I think the government should. So what did you use for showing contrasting ideas?
Can you say the question again?
What did Louisa use? Which words did she use in her speech to show contrasting ideas? Contrasting ideas.
On the other hand.
Yeah. Practicing with connectors. However, for example, in general, therefore, what is more overall? What does, however, show? Sequencing or contrast?
Contrasting.
Contrasting, yeah. For example,
given examples.
Or giving addition something. You want to add a piece of information. What is more?
Also additional.
Yeah, overall.
Something in general.
Yeah, and so on. Emphasize in
like
general.
In general.
Yeah, therefore.
Sequence.
Yeah, therefore, it's the same like so, a result. Therefore, I think, so I say. So this shows that there is a result. Okay, I didn't have enough money, therefore I had to borrow some from my father. Do you think there is too much advertising on the internet? Can you use you can use some of these connectors in answer to these questions. Do you like eating spicy food? You can say, I like eating spicy food. For example, I like eating, let's say,
chips.
Chips, yeah, with let's say pepperoni and so on. However, I don't like a lot of it. Why do some people think we should all use public transportation more? Well, that's a very important question. I think that using public transportation will reduce the overcrowded or traffic problem in big cities. However, not many people will be able to use it because they would prefer using their own car and so on.
Okay.
What kind of connectors are these? Firstly, secondly, finally, on the other hand, on one hand, and on the other hand.
Firstly, secondly, finally, if we are mentioning steps of something.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand and on the other hand, to give a contrasting.
Yeah, on one hand, on the other hand.
One hand, I guess comparison.
Yeah, also they show comparison. Because when you contrast things, you show comparison, but not any comparison in a sense of adjectives.
Yeah.
The idea itself. The idea of
Agree
comparison.
or disagree? Yes.
Yeah. On one hand,
Agreement.
I think, on the other hand, yeah, it's a way of organizing your ideas. So firstly, to show like some sort of, and secondly, to show of sequence. So you organize your ideas, and when you organize ideas, your ideas will be coherent. Yeah. That's the end of this part of the course. Next, inshallah, next week, inshallah, we will do some sort of, let's say, in the coming, we'll have 2 sessions. You can look into the group and you will have.
Okay, can you please send us this PowerPoint?
Yeah, I can send it to you, but there is a way by which you can go there. So let me share with you how you can do it. So first you have to go to this Ieltta website. Log in. And then I give you like a username and password. And then I will send you these lessons with homework.
Okay, no problem.
But the thing is that this is like, will be something that can use in public way. In Ieltta, when we study, we use this system. So if the student chooses to have his own account so that he can do his homework, okay, we have to buy it for him an account. What I'm going to give you is like an account or just one account that we have now. So for having access to this material for a certain limited period of time, because it's paid material.
Okay.
So, but I will give you access. So the first thing to do is to go to this website.
Okay.
I will share it with you here in our group. This is my school. It's called EmadElhakeem School. Okay, thank you, sir. And then I will send you username and password, which you can log in to see how your account as a student will appear like. And this is called mobile learning, by the way. This is called mobile learning.
Okay, shall we contact with you after this session in order to have the username and password?
Okay. Let me just, because I have to give you access to the account, make sure that you can log in. Please go to the website from your WhatsApp group. I will send you now the username and password, but give me like a second.
Okay. I did.
So the user's name is student accounts, not student account. It's called. Let me check it. I will share it with you on the WhatsApp group. Just a minute, or I will check it on the website itself.
All right.
Where is it? It's here. Okay. Okay. So student's Student, yeah, your username is your student@ielta.com.
Student
Yes.
at
Ielta.
Ielta. Can you spell it?
Okay, that I will write it to you on the
WhatsApp.
Yeah, let me just.
Okay.
So it's student@ielta.com. Here it is. Username. Password. I think it is I love Ielta. Try it. I don't know. I cannot remember it. Just
الباسورد ايه؟
I love Ielta.
على بعضها بالسمول.
Yeah. لا كأول حرف. The first letter is capital.
I love IELTS.
Make sure it's opening for you. I will try to show it here.
Yeah, I
Yes,
guess
it works.
it works. Yeah.
Student at. Oh, okay. It worked. Now I will send you the lessons that we studied today. You will have a chance to have the lessons for a limited period of time during the course. Okay. These are not downloadable. In a paid course, you can buy an account like this for 1 year. It costs like 500. You can have all the materials and your own homework. This is called mobile learning. And when you answer the homework, the teacher is notified that you answered your homework and he can give you feedback regarding this. This is what we follow here in Ielta Academy. And instead of having books, you know,
Yeah.
how does your account appear?
بصراحة مش فاهمة حاجة خالص.
يعني can I share my screen?
Assignments وفي
It is like this.
assignments due.
Your assignments due.
Yeah. Does it appear like this?
Yeah. No dues.
Okay. This is a lesson, for example. Okay. If you open it, you will have access to the lesson. You can see it. It will appear like this. Okay. This is a lesson. And this is.
So what should we do?
Now I will send you the IELTS material. This is a public. This is a demo, like a lesson which was sent to the account. What I'm going to do is that I will send you the IELTS material which we studied today. All that you can do is just you can take some screenshots to keep and to save them, because these are not downloadable material, right? Now I can log out. Okay, so we talk speaking lesson 1. Students. Okay. So now you can have an access to the lesson. You can find it. This is the homework, by the way. So you can revise everything that we studied today. Did you receive the lesson? Open the account, you can have it.
Join lesson.
Yes, introduction to the IELTS. And the second lesson is fluency and coherence. Did you receive it?
I clicked on a join lesson, but nothing happened.
Not join a
Yeah,
lesson. You will have a
me
list
too.
of the lessons. You will have a list of the lessons, actually.
Oh, yes. I
Don't
got it.
join. Don't join. Join lesson when I activate this button. When it is activated from my side.
Okay, introduction to IELTS speaking.
You got it?
Yes.
Introduction to IELTS.
So now it is.
Oh yeah, we get it.
And you have the homework.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
So now you have access to your student at Ieltta.com. Password, I love Ieltta. Now, this is how your account will appear. What you have, these are the assignments that you have. Okay.
Okay.
You have also progress test if you want to do it, but however حتى اللي هيعمل الواجب للاسف لان ده حساب واحد فقط. انت ممكن تحله بره بقى خلاص، لان المشكله ان السيستم ده عشان تحله مخصص لازم تكون ليك حساب خاص بيك لوحدك. Which means that it's payable, but during the course I give you the chance to study from this system until we finish the course. Okay, here you have the lesson which we did today and this lesson. So fluency and coherence and introduction to IELTS speaking. Clear?
Okay, thanks a lot.
We can revise this, and also you can have a look at the homework. This is the homework. You can do it. It's okay. But each time someone does it, it will change. But anyway, you can do it just as some sort of practice. That's the end of our session today. Thank you for attending the sessions. Thank you for being with me for 2 hours without getting bored. And what do you think of the session? What is your feedback? What do you think what is good? What do you think was not good? What do you think to have in the next session? What do you want to have for the next session?
Yeah, it was beneficial. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Mina, are you listening with us or just?
شكرا مستر عماد جزاكم الله خير يا رب.
Mr. Ayman. Are you all teachers?
شكرا مستر عماد جزاكم الله خير يا رب. جزاكم الله خير.
شكرا لي، الف شكر ليك يا استاذ ايمن. هل كلكم في حد مدرس هنا ولا just anyone teacher here? English teacher.
Yeah.
أنا مدرس كيمستري. أنا كيمستري teacher.
Okay.
I'm
By the way,
English instructor.
Where, Ms. Zainab?
Freelance.
Freelancer.
Now I'm given a course with the Arcada in Mansoura.
Okay.
Online course.
This is great. Nihal, are you also a teacher?
No, I'm an accountant.
Accountant. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Mina? Can you hear us? I think Mina is not here. Anyway, thank you. And let's meet inshallah next week, inshallah. In case you have any questions and queries, you can just follow in the either in the Facebook group or in our WhatsApp group. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Have a nice
you.
weekend.
Thank you.
شكرا.
السلام عليكم.